Paul, thank you very much for that introduction. And colleagues, before I go any further, can I extend to you greetings of solidarity on behalf of Education International, of course representing more than 32 million teachers and other education workers in over 400 organisations in more than 170 countries around the world. I extend to you warm greetings of solidarity. Can I acknowledge Linda, the President of NZEI and past presidents in the room. Can I acknowledge Kuro Alex and all elders, past, present and emerging, for the stewardship that we so much rely upon. And can I also acknowledge Jack Boyle, President of NZPPTA, Murray Mulherron, representing the AEU, and most importantly of all, I want to acknowledge you, the rank and file leaders of this very, very great union. Can I just say to you that before I go on to the topic I'm supposed to talk about, can I just say to you that one cannot be anything but impressed with your tenacity, your commitment in order to achieving a just outcome for teachers, education workers and the kids of New Zealand. Congratulations to you all. I don't normally say this, but can I say this, and if it ruffles some feathers, so be it. I consider the NZEI as one of the best unions of Education International in terms of activism and rank and file representation and leadership by delegates. So congratulations to you. 5 years ago, we were charged with the responsibility to build a global response, a global movement to tackle the growing commercialisation and privatisation of education. We were charged with that responsibility 5 years ago because finally we showed some maturity in order and stopped describing the problem that was confronting us and started to build a response to the problem that had to be dealt with. There is no greater threat to the achievement of quality education for every child, not some children, for every child. There is no greater threat than the growing commercialisation and privatisation of education. We realised 5 years ago that no one union in any one country can do it alone, because the forces that we're up against, the strength of those forces that we're up against, the reach of the forces that we're up against was greater than any one union, and we had to build a global response. And that's what we set about doing. We started building that global response, starting with country after country after country, directly working with member organisations, building national campaigns, and then linking those national campaigns to deliver a sub-regional response, a regional response, and a global response where the voice of Education International could have greater effect. There's nothing worse for any union leadership than to make hollow threats. When you go out on the grass, you do so knowing, when you go out and make a threat to governments, you do so knowing you've got the backing of a strong membership in order to be able to deliver. And you've demonstrated that, as I said, over the course of the last 18 months. We started building a global response. Our slogan around the world was the same: students before profit. Students before profit. Large global corporations, the largest of which is Pearson, and I'll say a few more words about Pearson in a moment, see our students as nothing more than economic units that can be exploited, and they see that the biggest barrier, the biggest obstacle to their dream of exploiting every child and tapping into the $6.3 per annum trillion dollar industry that is education. They know that the biggest threat, the biggest obstacle to exploiting our children, exploiting the future wealth and profiting off it, is teachers, education workers and their unions. We stood up to the challenge and we started building a global response. In building a global response, we started off in Africa, Latin America, Asia Pacific, and we've kept on building. Uganda, Kenya, Liberia, Nigeria, the list goes on. We're now directly operating in more than 19 countries in terms of direct campaign assistance with our member organisations, and of course beyond that we're linking up the struggles of our brothers and sisters that have got more capacity, linking up the UK with the US, linking up New Zealand with the UK and the US and Australia, constantly building solidarity to confront these corporate actors, these vultures, whose rapacious behaviour has to be called out. But in building a global response, what we've always said, and this is where we borrowed the slogan of the Green Movement, we think globally but act locally, because there is no global response without national campaigning, without national brunt to give us the capacity and leverage to force change at the global level. We're in 19 countries at the moment, and we're about to get into more countries. In fact, in the middle of October, we're about to go into the work with all the smaller Pacific Island nations. In the first week of November, we'll be in Argentina working in the higher ed sector, doing work with 6 countries across Latin America and higher education. In the last week of November, we'll be in Greece, and the first week of December will be Morocco, continuing to build and extend our reach. The way we work is that we always work, when we work with our national organisations, the first thing we do, apart from indicating commitment to do this, is we commission research. One of the things that we were lacking many years ago was the research base, the detailed, deep research, the research that would inform strategic campaign development. We live in an era where it's just not good enough to come out with a slogan. We need a research base to inform us. So we started in doing research, and I think there's up to 19 pieces of research thus far. This year we've already released 4 pieces of research and built campaigns arising from it. And as I said, we're about to release 4 more pieces. This one here is about an outfit, a corporate outfit called Bridge International Academies, that's supported by Pearson, supported by the World Bank, supported by Zuckerberg, Gates, and so many other phonies. Bridge International Academies is seeking to exploit the aspirations and hopes of kids in Africa. Setting up illegal schools. Illegal. Schools that ministers have described as chicken coops, putting the health and safety of children at risk. Schools where they don't employ teachers, they employ high school graduates and deliver a standardised education where teachers are reading off a tablet, word for word. The tablets are connected to some headquarters in Boston. They know exactly where every single teacher is up to. So scripted are the lessons, it includes instructions circulated around the room for 30 seconds. Rub the ball. Pause. So much for individualised learning, so much for cultural and linguistic sensitivities. Illegal operators, supported by the World Bank and Pearson. We confronted the president of the World Bank, Jim Kim, who's moved on now. And we said, Jim, how can the World Bank justify supporting an illegal operator, an operator deemed illegal by the highest court in Uganda and Kenya? And the response was, you're being ideological. We're talking about the law, Jim, the law. But clearly the law of a black country doesn't matter. Racism. Racism. And they're doing all this in Africa and in India and elsewhere in order to trial their product. And if you think it's going to be restricted to Africa and India and developing countries, think again. This is testing product to upscale it in the global north. There's proposals to introduce such schools in England. And the end game, of course, is not simply this parallel provision. The end game, of course, of these privatisers is to take over education systems as a whole. Which brings me to Liberia, which announced in February 2016 its intention to hand over all of its schools to private operators. All of its schools handed over to private operators. The same week they announced it in Liberia. Again, to make the point that this is not isolated to developing countries, it was announced in England as well, the intention by the then Prime Minister David Cameron to hand over all of their schools, to make them academies, charters, whatever you want to call them. The only thing that stopped it happening in England was that the government fell. This is a global issue, folks. They're coming after us, they're coming after the most precious resource in the world, and that is kids, and we are standing in the way. We've done other research about the roles of philanthropy capitalism. Modern day philanthropy is not what it used to be. We've got these billionaires setting up foundations and donating money, but to create a society in their own image. We're entering a post-democracy period where corporations have got more power, unaccountable, undemocratic, unelected. Corporations have more power than governments. Philanthropy capitalism. And you know what? These billionaires, when they donate this money and people get all warm, oh, how lovely. Isn't it nice of them? No, just pay your tax. Pay your tax. We'd get far more out of them if they paid their taxes than the crumbs they give. Our study in Cote d'Ivoire and Ivory Coast continued our wave of work this year, as did our study of Pearson and the latest Pearson plans for the world. And they're very clear. At their AGM this year in May, the CEO, John Ballard, made it very clear. Their intention is to go digital and see the expansion of digitalised education to the extent that they get rid of teachers. Teachers out of the way, directly to the client. They're going to expand rapidly, he said at their AGM, to take over the higher education sector in the US. They will find 2 supportive states in the US once they better down the higher education sector in terms of virtual schooling. Then they'll expand their operations in the K-12 sector to bring online education, digitalised education, getting rid of the teacher, maximising profits. It's very interesting, these people who promote these kind of systems. They promote these systems of teachers reading off a tablet or getting rid of teachers and bringing online schooling for other people's children. Other people's children. When it comes to their own children, they still want that social and human dynamic and interaction that is education, but for other people's children, they propose something else. And the last study that we've released thus far this year has been in Honduras. As I said, research, communication, unity in action. One of the goals that we established, and I want to acknowledge Paul for the support that he's given this program from its inception in developing the strategy that we've employed globally. One of the things that we've said quite clearly is the need to deliver and the need to demonstrate that our global union is a campaigning activist union. And I think we've demonstrated that. I want to end with some warnings about challenges moving ahead. And sorry folks, it's not a good news story. Regrettably, we can only deliver one assessment, and that is that we will see an escalation in the promotion of privatisation at the global and national levels over the next little while. What we're seeing is a privatisation of global governance, and this is where I'll get, I'll try not to get into too much jargon and UN talk. In 2015, September 2015, world leaders adopted the Sustainable Development Goals. There are 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Sustainable Development Goal number 4 is very special to us because it's about education. World leaders committed themselves to ensuring equitable and inclusive quality education for all. That's verbatim. Goal 4. Target 4.1, all world leaders committed themselves to ensuring that every girl and boy complete free, are we okay with the word free? Do you understand free? Because I'll tell you what, there's a lot of people out there in the world that just don't understand free. Free primary and secondary education, can I digress just momentarily and comment on Maury's presentation about the criminal negligence, deliberate in Central Australia, in our homeland schools. Kids don't have secondary education. There is no secondary education in those schools, in those communities. Yet world leaders committed, including the Australian clowns, the morons currently in office. But there's a sting in the Sustainable Development Goals. Sustainable Development Goal number 17, where they committed themselves to engage in partnerships with the private sector to meet the goals. This is what's being used to introduce public-private partnership models in the provision of public services like health and education. All notions, mythologies associated with public-private partnerships suggesting that it's more efficient, it's cheaper for government. They are not. The most recent study out of England by the National Audit Office of England concluded that public-private partnerships in education cost 40% more than normal delivery, and educational outcomes are no better. Jim Kim called me ideological when I challenged him about the illegality of a company that they support. You want to see ideology, you see it in the proponents of public-private partnerships. Why is it always that they promote privatisation as a solution when all the evidence, folks, the evidence tells us otherwise? What we're seeing is privatisation through development aid. Aid money intended for the well-being of children. Taxpayer-funded, taxpayer aid money is being redirected not to enhance the provision of universally accessible public education. Aid money intended for the well-being kids is going to private properties to expand the provision of private education. When did it become okay for aid money to line the pockets of properties? When did that become okay? And we're seeing this now in the world of education through the multilateral agencies that are delivering aid to countries around the world. We're going to see privatisation through philanthro-capitalism, and I spoke about that a little while ago, but we're going to see, regrettably, extensive labour market, or attempts for extensive labour market deregulation in the context of digital platform capitalism. Contractualisation, expansion of that, and the like. We've got a big struggle ahead of us. A big struggle ahead of us. But I know this. If you don't fight, you lose. We do what we've always done. We do what you've demonstrated, and that is we fight, we fight, we fight. We organise, we organise, we organise, we grow, we deepen, we breathe, we serve, and we commit ourselves further and further to the achievement of quality public education for all, for every child in every corner of the world. Solidarity. Thank you.